Good evening, hello, and welcome to the new Geeks channel. I think everyone can hear me. If you're new here, we're building an inclusive space for people of all walks of life through the power of friendship, magic, and tabletop role-playing games. Tonight we have Forging Faith and Sober D&D campaign set in the critical world of Alexandria, following our adventuring party, the Fists of Fate. What's up, Fists?
What's up? Just a friendly reminder for everybody in the chat that the New Age Geeks includes more than just us. It relies on all of you wonderful geeks and your participation in this community that we are growing together. If you want to become one of the New Age Geeks, you absolutely can. Just make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels and join our Discord, where you will find moderated chats, emotes by one of our favorite geeks, Sarah. Hey, Sarah. As well as chat rooms with the cast and other members of this growing community. Another little friendly reminder is that the best way to help us out is with engagement, so we would greatly appreciate if you'd watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that these platforms know to share us with everybody else. Beyond YouTube and Twitch, we have posts going up on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Threads, so if you are on those platforms, make sure to follow us for more geeky goodness.
Twitch Prime is free if you already have Amazon Prime. That awards you a 1-month subscription to any channel on Twitch. Once per month, you need to go in and resubscribe to that channel at no additional cost. Just link your accounts and click subscribe with Prime on that channel. If you are feeling like spending a little money, please subscribe on Twitch and YouTube. Perhaps give subscriptions to others. Cheer using bits, donate via PayPal, check out our merch shop, and subscribe to our Patreon. Lastly, if you wish to become a sponsor for the New Age Geeks, reach out to us directly via our Instagram page to begin those discussions.
Speaking of sponsors, if you enjoy the music we have going on here on Forging Faith, we highly recommend checking out the SonCraft bot. SonCraft bot allows you to play open source, community selected music, and soundscape types directly from your Discord server with just a few clicks. Whether you're playing with friends or streaming on Twitch, you can use the audio stress-free. With their Prologue subscription, you get their playlist builder, shareable playlist codes, access to 40+ music genres and 20+ soundscape types, global genre selections, and 2 premium Discord servers, all for just $10 a month. But by using our referral code NAG, that's N-A-G, you get $2 off your subscription for the first 3 months. All you need to do to get started is invite the SonCraft bot of your choosing to your server, then just hit play and let SonCraft take care of the rest. All right, so announcement time. Let's see. So this week we have Queer and Present Danger coming at us on Wednesday. Hosted by our amazing CC, obviously. This Thursday, we are in for another investigation check where I am rolling up an investigation check on Kate the Great, queen cosplayer, runner of all the cosplay meetups for. So let it sound and it very much distracted me. Kate the Great, she runs all the cosplay meetups for at pretty much every convention. So I will be meeting them this Thursday and doing an investigation check on them to hear all about their geeky backstory. Besides that, what else am I missing? Oh, right, Gen Con. We're gonna be at Gen Con, folks. Most of us. So we are going to be at a bunch of events, bunch of meetups. Nothing, I don't know, Jem, do you have any details on any meetups that you were able to share with us?
No, I think we're gonna host a crawl on Saturday night.
Okay. So,
Stay tuned.
Okay. Stay tuned to what? Our Instagram is gonna be up on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We'll do an unofficial bar crawl around downtown Indy.
Okay. Besides that, I know a bunch of us are going to be at Kate's unofficial cosplay meetups for those. I know I'm particularly going to the OC cosplay meetup. I'm not sure exactly what day that is, so you can catch me there. But if you see any of us, come by, say hello. We love meeting fans in the wild. Besides that, am I forgetting anything?
We'll be back with another Forging Fates next Monday before Gen Con.
Yes, right before Gen Con. Whew. All right. I hear someone's echo. If anyone's watching the stream,
That's
I hear
Dom.
an echo.
Is it me? Oh no.
You're lighting up.
Okay, well, I've got nothing else. If you guys got nothing else, we can dive right into tonight's episode of Forging Fates. And we're back. Okay. So, I don't think anyone is prepared to do the intro. So do the recap. So I will be doing the recap. Last episode, the battle against Valeria continued as Gormrog had started off the fight unconscious and dead. The ally, Pike Crickfoot, was quick to revive him and using a Revivify, bringing Dom's death count to 1, as Gormrog is now back from the dead. And from there, the battle continued. Eventually, 2 more team members dropped, one being Tristan, and the other being, I think, Gormrog again.
And Whisper.
It was at some point in this whole cacophony of revives and bringing people back to 1 hit point, the big brain move of using the Wand of Sanctuary?
Rod of Security.
I was close. They teleported themselves to a pocket dimension for a few seconds where they were able to heal themselves up before diving back into the fray, at which point Valeria was trying to burrow her way out of the chapel to help with the battle proper that is happening outside. The battle then continued as both of Finnick's parents were eventually killed, and we then got to the point where eventually Finnick was the one to deal the death blow to Valeria, slicing her monstrous form in half before causing her to drop to the ground. And as a few moments had passed from there, as you guys kind of gathered yourselves up for a minute, and I think that's where we pick up, as you now all reside in the throne room with a large dead worm-like creature spread out across the floor. The 5 of you with Pike and 2 dead parents.
Would it be fucked up if I said I wanted to loot my parents' bodies?
You do what you want to do.
Wow, it's perfect.
I will just
so-
sort of shakily. Okay, you're near water elemental form.
Yes.
Yeah.
So half carry Finnick over to her parents.
Well, it's definitely not what I expected. At least this soon.
I'm sorry. I know you were hoping for a different outcome.
They were just so stubborn.
Huh?
Was it a real cult?
What was that?
Probably. Just to ask if we were a cult.
Oh, yeah. Well, my parents were,
They were, yeah.
but I'll just sort of kneel down next to them and then take their shit.
Okay. Let's see if I can copy these and send them to you. I'm just gonna post it up in cast discussion, just so it's a little easier for me. All right.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Right.
That's one.
Yo, hold up.
That's one.
Do you have any way of formatting this better?
I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you.
That's two.
Wow.
But
Holy shit.
most specifically, I kind of want to grab my dad's sword
Okay.
and offer it. I'll sort of turn to look at Tristan.
Tristan is after that, and I think he's like in wherever the spot he was at. He's just sitting down, kind of with his like on the floor, with his arms on his knees, just kind of with his head down, looking bleeding, just not looking very well. Look up. Hey, are you okay?
I feel like that is a very loaded question at this moment.
I'm sorry.
I will put a hand on Tristan's shoulder and I'll use healing hands. So I'll restore 10 hit points.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You go stand up. So,
I would help you out, but I feel like you just pull me back down. Can we hear what's going on outside?
So, roll a perception check for me. No, you know what? I take that back.
No,
We could.
Go ahead, Clover.
I
At
can't.
At the end of last session, we actually did. Whisper did. So, Whisper and I should currently be like out the door, headed.
Right. Yes, that's true. I forgot that part. We did end with the pair of them kind of beginning to make their way out of the kind of crumbled wall that Valeria had been partially destroying. As you exit out, you see just the music here. You see, as you exit out, there is wyverns still dive bombing, strafing along, trying to pick up bodies and fling them into the air. One thing you do notice that's a little different is there are some creatures now that have populated the battlefield that weren't there before. Like these short, kind of blue, imp-like creatures, this massive rows of teeth that are leaping up at the wyverns and kind of digging claws into their side, and you see them attacking it as the creatures kind of dive bomb through. There is soldiers strewn about the entirety of this field, kind of some of them clearly wounded and unconscious or dead on the floor now, and there are several others that look like they were mid kind of combat, but you don't see any wounds on them, but they are unconscious on the floor as well. As you are out there, you see one of those little small, like bluish creatures. As it leaps onto one of the wyverns, it lets out this like screech, and you see the wyvern's eyes kind of roll back before it plummets down to the ground.
Oh. I would like to shoot it.
Okay. Just go ahead and roll an attack for me.
Standing still as I do so. Let's go with the 26.
That definitely hits. You don't even have to roll damage. As you hit it, the arrow kind of pierces into its spine as it's holding onto the back of this holding onto this wyvern. The arrow pierces its spine and just kind of, its eye is gonna roll back and it falls down, it plummets down to the ground, smashing into the ground. Its body kind of ripping open at the seams from the impact.
Okay, and these things are kind of just everywhere?
There is a pretty good amount of them now that have kind of just started to populate the field.
Honestly, knowing that my arrow just kills it, I imagine I would just stand there and start shooting in every direction at them.
Roll a d20 for me, just flat.
Okay.
We're gonna go into a little bit of horde combat, so
Okay.
this is just 15. You start loading arrows during this time period and just start firing bolts off into the distance, piercing creature after creature. What are you doing during this time period, Whisper? Yeah, Whisper.
Whisper, as water elemental, can only attack melee, but is gonna go barrel in, see wherever she can help, and slamming shit.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me.
No, nothing to add, or
Nope.
just a d20. Okay, 9.
Okay. You start, I mean, a lot of these creatures are kind of like climbing the walls and trying to get advantage against the wyverns that are dive bombing them. So there's not too much on your actual like range of space, but you, like a tidal wave, begin to wash across the battlefield. You see one, you reach a watery tendril up and scoop it up into the air, wrapping it into your grip before you wing it off, slamming it into another creature. The pair of them, their bodies mix and intertwine with the spikes that kind of cover parts of their body as they slam into the wall, shredding themselves. You begin to go off and begin to attack the various bands that have kind of populated this space. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Are we here?
Go ahead.
I was asking, are we, when they went out, it was like the door open, are we noticing this, or?
Well, you said you were in the middle of the room, so this is roll a perception check for me. At disadvantage because there's a lot in your way to see outside. You just hear the sound of battle coming from outside.
2, 7. Did you hear that?
No, 7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, no, you don't see anything happening outside there. You just hear the sounds of combat kind of permeating through the space.
Okay. I'm looking see Finnick, and I'm gonna see the sword. Like, that is a really nice sword.
Take it.
And just he looks at her and like he's trying to be empathetic and understanding what is transpiring. Are you sure?
Yeah. I mean, he almost killed you with this thing, so I feel like it's only fair that you would get to wield it. But I don't know what I should do. I'm really in no position to fight right now.
I don't think much of us are, especially us three. And that's he puts his hands out to grab it.
How's Gormrog looking right now?
Quick revise.
Take your ass.
Health-wise, he's fine.
Okay.
But mostly just worried about you.
I have, like... It looks like life has been drained out of me, essentially. 3 levels of exhaustion is not a good time, but...
Yeah, we gotta get you out of here.
Does Ormrock
So are
have
we
one?
just...
level of exhaustion? Or...
Because I died? Joe?
No.
Oh.
Let me go see what's going on outside, guys. The other two went already.
How many people
can-
can Goldie hold?
Well, a wyvern is a large creature. So
Right. 2 medium creatures, but that would be kind of like pushing it, especially since a lot of you guys are pretty large, like heavy.
Mm-hmm.
what are you trying to say, Joe?
I'm saying you big, you tall. Plus all the armor.
And I am wearing like
What?
adamantine armor, so but I can always hop on Goldie if I need to get out.
Yeah, we need to get you to safety. Hey, Whisper.
I'm not there.
She's at her and Cole.
You're
They're
not
outside.
there?
They're outside.
Oh,
She's fighting.
oh, all right. Yeah, let's just get you on Goldie and get you out. We'll figure the rest out after.
And Tristan automatically turns and starts to go towards outside to look for Clover.
Okay. As go ahead.
Before Tristan leaves, I'll just use the rest of my lay on hands, which is 15 more HP,
Okay.
and then I am tapped.
I will say, get my book. Sorry, I forgot. Oh. Pike also will, though she is almost no spells. Pike will also give you a level 1 healing word, Tristan. That is 9 hit points. Pike is just about tapped.
Brought me to 43.
Oh, actually, she does more on bonus on healing word. Apologize. So add another 6.
Yeah.
All right. So
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I very much appreciate that. I gotta go find Clover.
as the 3 of you make your way up to make it out of that crack in the wall, instantly you see flooding from some space beneath the keep you're in. You see these blue creatures kind of pulling out from the dirt like this ravenous horde. They clawing at the dirt as they push themselves up from the stone and mud, and begin to rush towards onto the field, coming from someplace below.
As soon as Tristan notices that Clover and Whisper are both like already engaged and doing their thing, he's gonna run right out there and start helping.
Okay, how are you gonna help?
I'm gonna try kind of the same version of what actually, because I didn't use it in the last game. Hold on, I'm gonna get into a certain angle, and I'm gonna use my breath weapon.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me. Because it's an area of attack, I'll say roll at advantage.
All right. It's the first time that Tristan's doing it, and nobody's ever seen it before that he's even able to do it.
And this is lightning?
I believe so. I remember I was asked last time. I believe it was lightning.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Natural 20. A 2 and a 20.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So Tristan goes out, and when he sees them, he looks over and he tries to find a specific area where he's not going to hit them. And his scales, for the first time, all glow like a super, super chromatic brightness. And it all charge. It goes. You see the colors of the scales and waving down to his legs and up through his arms, and everything pulses right into the middle of his chest, and where all the glow is right there. And the glow goes from his chest and through his throat, and his mouth opens. His eyes glow, and then just a burst of electrical breath energy just explodes out of his mouth.
So the rest of you hear like a thunderclap in the middle of the spaces. Suddenly this bright blue flash of electricity explodes from Tristan. You see 40 of these creatures as the lightning arcs between them in this small space, as their bodies shrivel and lock in the sudden burst of electricity, as their fingers twitch for a moment until they all drop to the ground, smoking just from the sheer force of electricity in the moment. Finnick and Gormog, what do you guys want to do?
I don't know what I can do.
It's a whole lot of nope.
I'll attempt to shoot a firebolt, which is a cantrip. It's not a leveled spell, but it will be at disadvantage.
Just roll why is it a disadvantage?
Oh, for
3
the
levels
attack
of
roll?
exhaustion.
3 levels of exhaustion?
Okay, so roll a d20 and then just do it at disadvantage.
I rolled a natural 20 and a 14.
Okay, so even in your exhausted state, you begin to cast your spells, the fire kind of engulfing your hands as you begin to fire them off at all the different creatures as they're kind of emerging from the space, taking them out from the air, picking them off from the air, and you're picking some out as they kind of burrow out from the ground. You see their bodies immolate in the minute your flames kind of touch them. And what about you, Gormog? What are you doing in this?
Just as they kind of come up in the way, or like coming at us, I might attack them. But my priority is getting Finnick out, not dealing with these things.
All right, roll a d20 for me at disadvantage then.
That is a 13 and an 11.
Okay.
What am I adding?
Nothing. This is just to see how many you're able to take out in this time period. In this first kind of round of this all going on.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of helping Finnick up as she is shooting off these firebolts in different directions. You keeping this perimeter security again for her as these lanky blue creatures begin to see you like a furious rage, just start diving towards you. They're almost buckling over onto all fours to run, their fingers gripping the mud and the dirt that is now soaked with blood and sweat. It swipes off, leaving these gashes into the ground. They come towards you, and you easily begin to, using your deft martial arts ability, roundhouse kick the first one that kind of launches its body in your direction before you snap the jaw of the next one as it kind of tries to bite towards Finnick's face. But the 5 of you begin to kind of coalesce in the space, Whisper on the outside, just swirling around like this whirlwind, a whirlpool, gathering up as many of these creatures and some of the other enemies that still populate the field. What's the plan, Fists? What do you want to do here? Do you want to stay and fight and make your way out?
We got to get out of here.
Whisper has never turned into an elemental before. She's angry, and I think she is going to stay and fight and just bash heads in with water slams. I think she's kind of like lost reasonable control at the moment, but it's just in the flow of the battle.
Get it?
Flow.
While I would say that I am still in control, as soon as I see Ormrog and Finnick attempting to make their escape, my focus is going to shift on their path out, and I'm going to start focusing all of my energy and arrows towards all of the monsters that are going towards them.
Okay. All right. I'll say if the four of you, Tristan, what are you doing in this moment? What's your plan?
So seeing that when the Gormog and Finnick come out, I see that when I came out, because I did my breath from the are they both still close to me? Well, we're not doing like walking spaces.
No,
right?
it's
okay. So Tristan's gonna notice them coming out, and then also trying to make their escape, and seeing that Clover is changing her direction. Then also Whisper is just in a rampant water page all over wherever she's going. He's gonna walk over, rush over. The adrenaline's pumped back into his blood, and he's gonna go over to Finnick really fast and put his hand on her shoulder and go, "If you need to be safe." And he's gonna give her a bolstering magic for to roll a d3 for a spell slot back.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
So roll a d. Oh, I roll a d3. I always hate what to roll for a d3. So. 3 out of a d4. Will that count as a 3?
Yeah.
D3?
Yeah.
Okay,
If you ever roll a 4, just re-roll it. Okay.
Oh, okay. Deal. So yeah, you get a 3rd level spell slot, or a 2nd or 1st, whichever one you want back.
So the total of them just has to equal 3?
Yeah, whatever I roll, the level of a spell slot you can get back.
Oh, okay.
But you can get, if I roll a 3, you can also pick a 2nd or 1st if you want one of those spells instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the 3 is what you're allowed to get a 3rd level spell slot back.
Okay, perfect. I'll take the 3rd level spell.
Okay. So
then after that, he's also going to help in what Clover's also doing. After the shoulder, he looks at her and goes, "Make sure you stay safe." Looks at Gormog, just gives him the look that they always know, and he's going to run forward and stay in also the path that get them safely out, but stay while battling.
Okay. I need the 4 of you then to roll a d20 at disadvantage, because you are focusing on escaping. Whisper, just roll a d20 for me.
I'm not escaping. I'm staying in the fight and help. I was just helping, like she's doing.
I'm staying in the fight.
Yeah,
I'm staying in the fight. I'm just making sure.
You're focusing fire on the people that are coming directly towards your allies.
The ones that are coming towards.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm helping with that. I'm not trying to escape. I'm staying in the fight as well.
Right. You're not just seeking out any target. You're specifically focusing on ones that are going to attack Finnick and Tristan's, Finnick and Gormrog. That's why I'm saying disadvantage.
Got it.
Okay. 18 or
9.
16 and 8.
Okay.
11.
11, 9, 8. Who did I miss?
Taz.
17.
17. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Dang.
That's a disadvantage?
Yes, I rolled a 17 and an 18.
That's awesome.
All right. Who rolled above a 10?
Do I count on this one too? Or
No,
no?
not yet. I'll get to you in a minute. So the pair of you, I'm gonna roll a d20. 7. So. Okay, so If you rolled below a 10, you're going to take 7 hit points of damage as some of these creatures are kind of like clawing their way in and eventually are able to get a swipe off at you, kind of ripping a bit of your flesh as you're trying to make your escape. Those of you that rolled above a 10, you're fine. Okay? It's just the horde is just... There are a lot of these creatures on the battlefield, and they're kind of all... They're... Gormrog and Clover, I'll say you specifically notice, there is no organizational strategy to their attacks. They are fanning out in every direction. Clover, with your high perception, you notice that they attack each other every once in a while. It is just pure chaos as these creatures are exploding out from underneath the keep and just attacking anything in their path. Whisper.
What our allies? What are ours? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
Whisper, what'd you roll?
Oh.
18.
18. Okay, you're good. You're able to continue to just go around and keep attacking these creatures and starting to thin the herd a bit as you want to do anything specifically, or is it just kind of
Nope.
wild attack?
Wild.
Okay.
I feel like she's like sucking them up and then using them to
Yeah. Just like
hit a dude with a dude.
each of your arms, each of your limbs has a star spawn on the end of it. You're just using it as like a club. What'd you want to say, Clover?
What is happening? What are our allies doing at this moment? Not the Fists of Fate, but the other people on the same side of this as us.
They're still. So a lot of them are focusing on the actual like humanoid creatures because that's where their original target was. But so that's where the wyverns are kind of diving at. They're diving to attack the humanoids that are on the space. The riders, you see them just trying to take as many pot shots as they can at these creatures as they're kind of overflowing from the ground. Anytime one of the wyverns gets close, though, you just see half a dozen to a dozen of these creatures launch themselves wildly at the wyverns, though. So they're kind of beginning to like try and stay back into the air to avoid this tidal wave of creatures.
Finnick, can we get you on Goldie and have you get to the airship?
Yeah, I can do that. Do you guys want me to go get more help, or?
Yeah, that'd probably be good.
Okay.
What is
I know
Talon
we-
doing in this moment? I'm sorry, now that was brought up.
Probably chilling, unless he takes any action of his own, because I didn't give him any commands. I came back as a water elemental, and then we killed Valerian. I haven't been able to like talk.
All right, so he's just still in the actual keep proper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just chill.
Yeah.
What about Goldie? What was the last thing you instructed Goldie to do?
Well, since we came back from the teleportation, nothing, but as of right now, I just let out like a high-pitched whistle to call her over.
All right, roll a d20 for me. Add Goldie's insight.
Wisdom?
Or perception.
Oh, insight?
Perception.
An 11.
Yeah, that's not enough. You whistle, and just over this with the sound of the combat, there's just not enough clear air for your whistle to get through to Goldie.
So, you know when your dog won't listen when you tell them to come, and so you stand up and walk over to where they are? That is exactly what happens. I'm like, get over here now. Like, hello? Goldie? You good, Joe?
Yeah, I don't understand what something means. Go ahead. Say what did you say again?
I walk over to Goldie, like I peek through the hole in the wall, and I'm like, over here.
All right,
Come here, boy.
That's enough to get his attention.
And then I'm going to get on top of Goldie, and I'm gonna go get more help.
All right. Where are you headed off to?
I'm headed off to where Earthbreaker, Groon, and their troops were.
Okay. With that, you launch Goldie into the air, flying up. You see a few of the other wings, the other riders kind of fly in next to you to kind of flank you along the ride, just to give you a little bit of cover. As you begin to make your way down towards where the other attack was happening. What are the rest of you doing while this is happening?
Once I know Finnick has gotten away safely and is going to get help, I'm turning right back around and just starting to try and beat back the horde. My goal is to keep it contained as best I can.
Okay.
But also just push them back into themselves if I saw what Clover saw.
Okay. What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
Hey, shout out to Raiders with Dicey Decisions. Welcome in.
Welcome in.
Hey, guys.
So once I got a good look around and saw that our allies are trying to fight off humanoids who are getting attacked by these creatures, but now Gormrog has joined into the fighting realm and is helping hold off the hordes, I would like to shift my focus once again to the humanoids, because in my mind, once we kill the humanoids, we can just, because I don't think ground gremlins are gonna stop. So now I would like to shift my focus to humanoids and shoot them.
All right. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
14.
Okay. I will say with that, you pick off another dozen of the Dawn Riders soldiers. And it's at this point you see as their body kind of falls, it's instantly starts to be grabbed by these creatures, and their bodies are pulled into the monstrous pile that's kind of flowing out from the temple. Their armor is ripped off and their bodies begin to get shredded in the horde. You don't really see too many more of the Dawn Riders left at this point. And the Wyvern Riders are just kind of staying up in the air now, and begin to just try and pick off as many of these creatures as they can. I will say, the tide of these creatures is slowing down. And it's not like there's hundreds of them. There's probably about 100 to 200 of them that have come out total. And you guys have picked off about 75 so far, just between the five of you. So, and Whisper is just nonstop, like a tsunami ripping through them. Yeah, what do you want to do?
Can I just, I'm sorry, I want to let everyone else have a turn. As I do that, I would like to say what I said to you. I want to yell that out to my teammates and just say, I'm going for the humanoids. Once they're gone, I think we need to dip. And that's
Okay.
Tristan, after Finnick flies off, he's going to look over and just keep seeing Whisper going into the tidal wave rampage, and he's going to just do the same thing, run right into it, and just keep slashing and slicing at whatever he can.
Okay. What about you, Gormrog?
I'm gonna just hit him.
All right.
Hit him.
So,
and then hit him.
all right then. Whisper, Tristan, and Gormrog, go ahead and roll the 20 for me.
17.
Okay. And would you roll Whisper? I'm sorry.
13.
13. Okay. So again, like angels of death on the battlefield, the four of you just begin to lay waste these swaths of creatures, destroying huge portions of their army as they kind of are even in fighting amongst themselves, as this bigger threat, Whisper specifically, begins to try and move towards that larger threat. They're going to... So that is going to be a hit on Whisper, Tristan, and the other two miss. So that's going to be 8 points of damage to the pair of you.
That's enough.
They're not very strong, but there's just a lot of them, as they are trying to attack you in some way, to just try and rip anything in their path. Finnick.
Yeah.
As you're flying, you see the fires off in the distance of the temple. I forget which temple they went to. Anyways, as you make your way down there, knowing that your friends are fighting behind you, it's not the easiest, and you can sense that the battle behind you is still happening. But as you kind of come in and land at this in the battlefield in front of you, you see members of Earthbreaker Groon's temple there. Some of them wounded, a lot of them wearing their ceremonial battle outfits for the temple. Quickly as you arrive, though, Groon is brought before you. And as he kind of approaches, you see his entire right arm below the elbow is just completely gone. He's got these large cuts across the right side of his face. I trust that you fared well on your end.
Well, we got rid of Valeria and my parents. But now there's these hordes of Starspawn. I don't know if you guys are finished with everything here, but I'm sure they would greatly appreciate the help.
Well, I probably can assume when you defeated Valeria, things here changed. And insanity came across all the people that were here. And unfortunately, Darius was able to escape.
Shit. Do you know where he went? Or saw the direction he went off to?
His body turned into those things and they slithered off in the chaos. But we've just about wrapped up all the other things that seem to appear out of nowhere. We'll move our troops over to help you.
Yeah.
With luck, we'll be done with this before the sun rises.
Yeah. God, it feels like it's been fucking ages. Are all of your healers tapped out, or do they have anything left?
They have a bit. He holds up his stump. Just not much.
I definitely don't look good. I am at like a third of my hit points.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus the look of exhaustion.
Okay.
So, well, we can tell them to save it until we get back.
Very well. Shall we move? And kind of subconsciously uses his stump to like wave people, and it's like, damn. And he switches over to his other hand.
Oh, buddy. And then I'll guide the way back to this Dawn Keep Citadel.
Okay. So for brevity's sake, as the four of you are continuing battling against these creatures, eventually getting to the point where Whisper, your form fades away and drops, reverting you back to your elven state. But the horde of the creatures is kind of weighing down a bit at this point, as suddenly about 24 horde acolytes force their way in through the front gate and begin to just overwhelm the horde that you had been fighting. As they join you in combat, taking out, destroying each of these creatures. Eventually you all are able to kind of take a step back as someone else begins to take the combat over, leaving you live together once more to kind of rest in this moment.
What do you guys say we get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's.
Alright. And then I'll motion over to a couple of the other Wyvern riders to give those who aren't able to fly a ride back to the airship. I figured Clover could hop on Goldie. I know Whisper has Talon, so
Okay.
if they're able to give Gormrog and Tristan a ride.
I mean, you don't have to go far, as the airship is still kind of hovering above overhead.
Right.
It's eventually kind of begins to pull close and allowing those of you that aren't able to fly passage onto this airship. You see Captain Alara kind of wet, furrowing her brow. Her blouse is kind of pulled open as she is sweating just from the exertion of the energy running back and forth, trying to command the ship from keeping... She's been working up there. Everyone else you see sweating as well in this moment, and even in the cool pre-morning of Vasselheim, they worked up a sweat running this airship above the battlefield this night. But as you all kind of load up, Goldie and Talon landing on the deck of the ship, you all gather there for a moment, Ike choosing to remain down on the ground to do what she can for the rest of the people down there. You have a few moments to yourselves. What would you like to do?
Tristan, right, as soon as they land, they realize things are less and they're not in the middle of straight battle. He's going to stop for just 2 seconds. He's going to look over Clover. He walks over to Clover, just kind of looks at her in the eye for a second, and then just gives her a huge hug. Holds it for not too long, just a huge hug, lets it go, and then just kind of steps back into a spot.
Accept that hug. And then I'm just gonna sit down on the ship against a wall and like relax for a second, fall into it.
Whisper was going to go over to Tristan and like went to go over to him, but then he goes and she sees him give Clover a hug, and then so she just waits there awkwardly for him to walk back to his spot. And then once you do, I'm gonna be like, Okay, you don't have to say anything. But did you see what the water?
I thought that was magnificent.
Right, we fucked shit up. We did it.
If I didn't see you destroying everyone, I probably would have tried right away too. You were the inspiration for that finish, and that was...
I mean, we made that promise.
We did, and that's when I saw you doing it, I went nowhere.
Good job. So we'll talk later.
And he kind of gives her like a half sigh, like, ah, shit.
about the rest of you? What are you doing?
Carrying Finnick to a bed, helping her into it, and then, like, anytime she protests, just put my hand on her forehead and push her down into the pillow.
Who is
Fine.
telling the airship where to go?
Oh, I thought we did that already.
I can do that, but it's gonna be like I collapse on the floor and I look like a starfish laying on the floor of the ship. And I'm yelling just into the air, "We're going that way!" If you will.
Okay.
I feel like as soon as we landed, would have been like a "let's get out of here" type of thing.
Okay. Where are you getting out of here to?
The
Back to Citron.
Back
Yeah.
to the Frostfang Citadel? Okay.
Ice Frostfang, Icefang.
All right. Well, with that, as the airship launches back into the air, we are going to jump over to our break. So, probably a quick break because we started late. So, but we'll be back in a couple minutes. See you guys soon. Love you, geeks. And we're back. All right. So, as you command the starship, the sky. My brain just stopped working there for a second. As you command the skyship to make its way back north up to the Frostfang Citadel, the sun piercing over the horizon, kind of basking the ship in this warmth of the morning. You look back into the city of Vasselheim, and you can see bits of smoke rising up from the two different battlefields that you had planned out. You can hear a quiet coming out from the city that wasn't there as you launched your attack. As the city all wakes up now, free from a great part of the Inquisition's influence. While some of the enemies may have escaped in this moment, you've all done well. You've done good. Some of you have achieved redemption. Some of you forged new strengths. But the battle is won. Is there anything you guys want to do on the trip up back to the Frostfang Citadel?
Take a long rest.
Not that long a trip, but okay.
I'm sorry.
Any conversations you want to have?
Well, I am currently being forced to rest. Not forced, strongly encouraged to rest.
Was there somebody you wanted to talk to?
I think it's just a lot of quiet time, a lot of processing what's happened over the last hour? Question mark?
Yeah, about.
So it's just like that quiet when you don't really want it to be quiet.
Okay.
If you know you
Well,
see what I'm getting at.
with that, as the ship silently drifts through the sky back north, eventually coming to dock once more at the hangar of the Frostfang Citadel. You all unload, and the hangar's still relatively empty in this moment, as most of the wing is still down in the city, cleaning up, gathering their dead, or they themselves return. But there is some staff that resides at the Citadel, and they come out to greet you. The cleric in particular, Finnick, comes up to you, kind of placing a hand on the symbol on your chest now. Just wordlessly looks at your eyes. Before kind of letting it drop down, allowing you all to go off to your various rooms or boarding for the evening.
I also, just out of paranoia, want to check myself for bugs.
Roll a perception check.
I will.
Thank you for making that a straight roll. Guidance. You said perception?
Yeah.
Not investigation?
Whatever, either one, I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
Okay, so 18
All right.
investigation.
With Gorma.
Good?
Chip in my throat. With Gormrog's help, kind of giving a scan over your body, you searching all the different nooks and crannies that you have. You feel like you've given yourself a good, the pair of you have given Finnick's body a good once over, as eventually don't seem to notice anything that raises any concerns.
During the downtime, Tristan, when he's gonna find a spot, well, he's gonna go to like we're all going to the rooms where he's gonna sit in space, and he's gonna just kind of give the sword that Finnick gave him a once over. If I put anywhere to put it or anything yet, he's just gonna give it a once over, and I'm gonna do a magical awareness.
Okay. Remind me what that does again?
Just I can check for a school of anything magical around me. It shows me the aura that is magical, and it gives me the school of magic that it is.
The sword is magical. Yes. It's got an enchantment magic on it. So, I mean, you've seen what it does. You see that it bursts into flame. So.
Okay.
Invocation.
Evocation. Thank you. Enchantment.
Okay, and then other than that, he just again, until anyone says anything, he's gonna sit and unwind and be very happy that he's still alive.
Do you attune to the sword or no?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure you just add that in as under attunement for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Where do I find that? I've never attuned anything ever.
Inventory, scroll all the way down if you have it equipped.
I'll figure that out.
Equip it first, then scroll all the way down, and you gotta click it again.
Spot. All right. I'll have to find it. I'll do that.
Okay. So, Tristan has made his way to his own room. Was your bugs hunt in a mutual room, Finnick and Gormrug?
Yeah, I'd be staying there.
Okay.
If she needed anything, I'd get it.
What about you, Whisper and Clover?
I went to go get food.
Okay.
Right when we got back.
Beautiful banquet is prepared for you. There is various types of meat. It seems like this is kind of prepared. There's food is being set out as you kind of enter in. There are large loaves of bread kind of in these large circular pans that have laid out in each every few feet on the table. That kind of looks like just meant to be grabbed and ripped off this hunk of bread. There is meats, some meats you've never really smelled before. You're not quite sure what it is, especially in this region this far north. It's definitely a new cuisine for you, and the meat seems to have this thick layer of fat that kind of on the outside of it that kind of courses through the entirety of these hunks. And they are serving essentially whole steaks for breakfast. And there are eggs prepared, some sort of root root-like potatoes, sort of starchy vegetables kind of served up, and not necessarily the greatest seasoning, as seasoning vegetables don't grow much up here, but it's cooked and it's there. Everything seems to have like a beefy taste to it, as it seems like it was cooked in the fat of a lot of the creatures that they are cooking here.
Yeah. I probably just eat and eat and eat and probably fall asleep.
Okay. Right there on the
Turning into a water elemental was more exhausting than any other kind of wild shape I've done.
Okay. And what about you, Clover? How are you spending this time?
Yeah, Clover is gonna go into her room, close the door behind her, and she's gonna try to sleep. Then she's gonna crack the door back open, and she's gonna make sure that the room is super well lit, and then she's gonna try to sleep. And then after like an hour of not being able to sleep, she's gonna get up and go down to the dining hall, sit next to a sleeping Whisper, and start eating bread, which is pretty much the only thing that doesn't look like it was cooked meat.
Yep, that sounds about right. Okay. It isn't long after your arrival at the dining hall that a lot of the other riders begin to make their way into themselves the dining hall and begin to gather their own plates of food up after an eventful evening. Whisper, I would say you're not necessarily able to get the best sleep in this space, especially as it starts to fill up with the cheers and shouts of a couple dozen armored individuals fresh back from a battlefield. Yeah, if there's nothing anyone would like to do in particular, we can kind of move forward from here. So, as the hours tick by, eventually, I will say you all, at some point, I'm assuming you all try to sleep.
Yeah.
Except for you. So those of you that did sleep can go ahead and take a long rest. Clover, what were you doing during this time, just as curiosity?
Nothing other than what I just said.
Okay.
I tried to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I went down to the dining hall and I sat next to Whisper, and then we just hung out.
So as Whisper goes to take a nap, and you have another 8 hours to kind of play with what you want to do in this space.
I'm gonna start writing in my journal. There's nothing specific I want to do.
Okay.
But I can't sleep, so.
All right.
Right.
All right. Well, with that, Finnick, you have a phenomenal night's sleep.
Oh.
You are not.
What's that like?
Nothing intrudes on your thoughts for the evening. You wake up 8 hours later, refreshed and
I
rested.
still have 2 levels of exhaustion.
Still tired, but you know, you did feel like you got a good night's sleep. You need more, but you feel like you got a good night's sleep.
Yeah, maybe I'll hit up one of the clerics for a greater restoration.
Yeah, certainly possible, if that's what you'd like to do.
Eventually, I think I'm gonna take that moment after I wake up. I'm gonna grip the blanket a little tighter around me. And I'm assuming Gormrog is still in the room.
Yeah, I would have fallen asleep in a chair next to you.
I just stare for a minute. Before I sit up.
Okay. So, eventually, the 5 of you gather up once more, being summoned up to the conference room area of the Frostfang Citadel. You are all brought there. You see the different wing commanders. You see Citrin. You see the High Justicar all gathered up. You see Pike in the space. You see Earthbreaker Grun taking his place up there. And there are now a few new faces.
New faces.
First amongst them, you see the platinum vestiges of the High Bearer of Ford the Silver Touched, person you have met in the past. However briefly, you see him seated at the table, his elven ears kind of pointed out behind his head, looking pompous as ever. You see the High Hierophant, Ophira, who you've had a conversation with, seated at the table. You see one of the 2 Raven Queen priestesses there. You're not sure which one, as you can't see their face. you see, let me get this. Hold on. You see a distinguished human male in his probably late 40s, his hair kind of graying, with this almost regal bearing to himself. He's currently wearing this much more, almost looks like he's in evening wear, like he got woken up from bed and instantly dragged up to this place. He is seated there. And besides that, that is it. You have officially gathered all of the heads of the temples of Vastine.
Yeah.
Well, Citron begins to speak. I apologize for keeping some of you out of the loop for the events that took place this morning, but as the scale bearer will attest, he was not himself, and we weren't able to accurately determine who was under their influence until this moment. You see Vord kind of tense up at the mention of him being controlled. And you see that his pride is certainly wounded in this moment. Grun turns towards you all at this time. It is only with their help that we were able to accomplish what we were today. They destroyed the creature, the thing that wore the skin of Valeria, and caused the troops that we had battled against to go into disarray. Fists of fate, this city owes you a debt I don't know if we could ever pay. Well, let's not go that far. You hear Void perk up at the mention of owing someone something.
I perk up. I know how you could pay.
The city is in your debt. As I've said, please, I would love to hear what they have to say first before we go agreeing to something.
Well, obviously with money, first, but there's also really great to have you all here because we were trying to talk at the big party, but kept getting interrupted. But there are bad people coming to
more bad people.
things.
More bad people, more
Yes.
bad things. Fantastic.
Probably stronger than Valyria. And also I have a question, was Valyria that much of a bitch before the bugs?
Grun kind of from what I've been able to find, it's Valyria was the source of those creatures.
Always like that.
It would have seemed so. Born that way, as some would say.
Maybe she's born with
Yeah.
it.
Bad people coming. Probably much closer now than at the party.
And do you know how long out this enemy may be? As you reach out, you get the sense there maybe, based off the measurements, you're kind of like getting a gauge on and knowing how long it took you guys. Probably 2 to 3 days.
Maybe a couple days. I don't know.
Maybe a couple of days. She doesn't know. Thank you so much for this wonderful insight. This has been fabulous.
Okay, can we cut the fucking attitude, please? We're trying to warn you of an actual danger.
We've already dealt with one danger, and I've barely had my
You got
coffee.
mind control.
I'm aware.
And
Boy,
these
did you
ones that
lay
are
your
coming-
life down?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Repeat yourself, sir.
Did you lay your life down?
I would lay my life down in a moment in service to Bahamut.
I did. And I'm about to do it again. In 2 or 3 days, when this threat comes here and starts destroying the entire city like it did to Westruun.
And Whitestone.
Since you're all here in the same place at the same time, I suggest you listen to what Whisper has to say.
I'm not going to say any more details. You can say the rest of the details. But I also just wanted to add, they also killed Grob.
I would like for you to roll a persuasion or intimidation check, Gormrog, and this can be an advantage because of your allies helping you in that conversation.
Guidance.
I'm proficient in intimidation because half work, so let's go with that. Plus guidance, you said?
Yeah.
That is a filthy, dirty, slutty 20.
Okay.
Damn.
Iconic.
As you kind of put them in their place, essentially, Gormrog, you see Vord kind of sit back in his chair, begrudgingly almost, pursing his lips at the thought of another threat and being spoken down to by anyone who's not him. It is at this point you see the female elf, Ophira, the High Hierophant, kind of lean forward. I apologize if I'm not up to date on all the details. I know some of it was explained to me the other night. But from what I remember, there is blades, elemental primordial blades at work. And one of those wielders is on their way here now to revive the Titan that stands within the city, if I'm remembering correctly.
Probably, yeah.
Well,
There's also her husband, who's doing the same with the Fire One.
I believe that may have already happened, unfortunately. I have sensed the elemental energies shifting along the world.
Great.
It will take time to fully for the creature to fully recover.
How much
You know,
time?
for a dude whose name has to do with the falling of water from the sky, I didn't expect him to be the one to have fire.
You never can predict these things, can you? But it will take some time. I'm sure that the primordials will need to draw their energy back from the ley lines to cover their strength, though now I'm sure they are free to make as many acolytes as they deem fit.
Sema-Yor is the one who is coming for the Earth Titan. She's a half-orc from the Rivermaw tribe. Hitting her hurt my hand last time we tried.
It sounds like one of the blessings of the Earth Titan.
So, we need to get creative, and we need to work together in order to stop her.
Well, her skin may be denser than normal, but I'm sure any arcane bits of energy that you are able to hit her with will certainly do the damage. From what I understand of the blessings that these creatures give, they only focus on their own aspects, so earth being the one that makes her skin impregnable. So, but fire will still burn, acid will still scorch. Probably hit those backwards, but it's an early morning for me as well.
Yeah. I don't have a way to do that. So, we'll have to figure something out. Yeah, between the Titanstone knuckles that she took from Grog and the sword itself, and now she's coming for the Titan in Vasselheim. It's the threat is imminent. And the stakes are high. What can you all do to help?
Well, you see the human you're not familiar with speak up now. Ugh. I mean, I feel like best we can do is prepare the guard for this. I don't know what much more we'll be able to. Bringing down the Titan is just, it's been impossible for our people to remove it thus far. Best we can do is guard it.
Has the Raven Queen Priestess reacted in any way?
She has been there stoic this entire time. Do you have any ideas? Fists of Fate, that's what you called yourselves?
That is our official title, yeah.
Grun spoke highly of you, and I trust his opinion, if not his clothing attire. Though not necessarily dressed well enough at this point. That's not the point. Anyways.
I have some speculation that she's traveling through the ground, not above it.
What makes you think that?
When we were in Westrun, Raynor was above ground and fire was everywhere. But we couldn't see Semayor. Either she was somewhere else, or she was there and just underground. I have a feeling that she's able to move through the ground without any resistance.
It will certainly make things more difficult if she can essentially go right through the Titan.
Yeah.
You said they have the Titanstone knuckles.
They killed Grog, yeah.
At least they'll need to return to the heart of the creature first to restore that before they can... I don't know anything about this sword, but I'm assuming that's another portion of it.
Yeah. Was it the Hamadaddy god? What was his name?
Rathus?
The one who forged the swords. the god that sealed the Titans into the swords? Moradin?
Moradin. Yep.
The Allhammer.
The Allhammer.
The Allhammer. That's it. Yeah, apparently he put a portion of the Titans into these swords. So they're the ones that, if released, Titans.
It's at this point you
Right.
hear an echo from underneath the veil of the Raven Queen's maiden. Strands of fate are winding about this whole group. You see that featureless face kind of turn towards you, whisper. What about the blades you carry, dear? Do they call to you? What is your disposition on these events? As she says that, you see everyone's attention snap towards you.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
What does she mean by blades? Excuse me, blades? Is this like the blade that they have? I think it's probably best for you to explain yourself, dear. She kind of turns her attention towards the maiden. The threads of fate are wrapped around this group. We understand that. We're talking about the blade comment. Oh, I see it on her soul. 2 more attached to them. A light and a shadow.
Well, looking at Whisper, just like, you could probably tell them.
Yeah, and
Oh, it's just... I'm just wondering if they called you. We just see the lines. We don't know where they'll lead you to. Not yet.
they're dating, or I think.
Your souls are dating. You see Vord kind of perk up. And what does that even mean?
I don't know. I've
How
never
can
been
we-
on a date.
How can we even trust this one if number one, she's not telling us
And a
that she
long
has
sword
two...
and a rapier love each other very much.
As I was saying, how can we even trust this group? How do we not know they're trying to draw defenses elsewhere while they prepare these blades to be returned to their owners?
Do you really have that little faith in us?
It's awful
we keep
convenient.
saving people. We don't care.
I'm well studied in many physical martial forms, but the mental gymnastics you just did in order to reach that conclusion is baffling.
I'm not even going to make you roll that insult check.
Vicious mockery.
It's going to take psychic damage from that. You see Vord just kind of sit back in his chair as Groon moves forward, giving side eyes to Vord before looking back towards the rest of you. I think it's safe to say that fists have proven themselves to us, and their integrity is a bit beyond reproach at this point.
Yeah.
That being said, Whisper, as the new bearer of these blades, what insights can you give us?
I They don't really. They talked to me before, but since they got together, they don't really talk to me that much.
Are you
but-
being third wheeled by your swords?
Yeah, it's like just like I am by the rest of the party. But that's how I know how far away the other blades are. But it's just like not very exact, you know. I've got to guess. It doesn't like tell me like, oh, they're 2 nights away. It's like, oh, here's a feeling, and this is a stronger feeling than before, and I'm not really smart enough to calculate distance. So.
Fair.
I didn't mean to get the second one, or know that the first one was gonna be special. So, kind of an accident.
We also know that one of them's broken.
Can we see them? Do you have descriptions of what the other blades may look like?
They all look
Oh,
different.
we have descriptions. We have the description.
Yeah, we could just tell you.
You see him look towards Vord again before looking back towards you.
There's one each for fire, earth, wind, and water. And then, would you call it life and death? Light and dark? What would you call those?
Whisper suddenly gets suspicious of the table. For anyone at the table that she has seen before, she wants to take a real close look to see if anything is weird about them.
Let's say roll an insight check.
Yeah.
The air at the table has definitely changed. And at the mention of the descriptions of the blades and the look Groon gave Vord, you get the sense that there is some secret being held between them.
And who is the most suspicious about the blades?
Vord is no one is suspicious about the blades. They're suspicious about your intentions, is what they've kind of said.
Okay. Who asked me to show them?
Groon.
Yeah, I say do it. Pull them out like the Keyblades.
Wait, why do you want me to pull it out? Are you Darius?
Huh?
No, not Darius. Did he have interest in the blades as well?
He can be an old man.
As you say, raise up Darius's name and interest in the blades, you see his attention immediately locked towards Vord. Where is it? I know you've had a piece there. You see, he's starting to get mad now. He kind of rises up. Did you give it to him?
As soon as he does that, Tristan, looks up and kind of half pushes his chair back and stands halfway and gets kind of very angry looking.
Did you give him the piece from your vault? I don't remember. I don't remember anything from that time. And you see Vord, Groon reach and grab onto Vord's neck, pulling him up now. And one-handed begins to lift the old elven body. You need to
If he was mind
think.
controlled.
You need to think now. I don't know. I don't remember. See, just throws him down into his chair. We need to go to the temple.
Because if he was mind controlled, he wouldn't remember if he was given. Also, piece of what? What piece are you talking about?
Well, a piece I suspect is one of the blades that you house.
Were you the one to give... Are you talking about a piece of the death blade? The Nox blade?
We didn't know which blade piece it was, but a shard came to the city a few years ago, and we stored it down in the Platinum Sanctuary's vault for safekeeping.
Mm-hmm. And
Raynor has the shard of the Nox blade.
we know Raynor has it, but we also know there's a couple other swords out there. Like the one on the boat and the one in the desert. Right?
Yeah. Those are the only two blades missing. Can we see the vault?
I think that's probably where we head now.
I'm gonna also try to think inside to the Nox thing and see if I can sense anything, because I don't remember sensing that one. I only remember sensing them coming.
Roll a perception check for me to try and sense a new piece.
I'm just specifically focused on
Nox?
ask in my head because I don't know how to like reach him. You said roll what? A perception?
Yeah.
14.
As you reach down and connect with that piece of your soul that is that darkness, you feel Nox, and you feel the shard, the broken piece of him at the end, that kind of like missing part that is still far across the ocean. Where you last felt it.
You said the shard came through here a few years ago?
Yes?
How did it enter the city?
It came from the sky.
Can I insight check that?
Roll an insight check.
God damn it, it's still at disadvantage, but it's fine. Guidance. Well, it doesn't fucking matter. That is a 10.
Doesn't seem to be lying. And that matches up with the other stories you've heard of the blades kind of falling to people.
Why would they just... Maybe we can go to the vault and also see if anything else important is missing.
Very well. That's probably for the best.
How long has it been that you've been controlled?
What month is it?
That's a good question. God, what month is it?
Sweet go.
I know.
June? No, it is...
Shira
Rosendar?
or something.
Rusandar?
Rusandar? Oh, well, then not much time has passed, fortunately. Maybe a day or two?
So they got you, like, right before the gala?
Oh, I didn't know who Valeria was. How long has she been in charge of the Inquisition? He's missing about 2 years.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well,
So it could be long gone by now.
Why don't we go into the vault and check it out?
I will say that I don't feel it here.
Roll another perception check for me. You were only checking for the one blade piece, so roll again as you open up your senses.
What I'm talking about.
Right, I'm saying you didn't. You felt for the Nox piece.
Okay. Yeah.
There is a piece here.
Oh, that's not 20. So 27.
Let's
go.
Like a lightning bolt to your head, you feel a new piece appear that you didn't feel before, and you didn't feel this piece a day ago, and it is so close now that there's no way you would have missed it. Whatever they had covering the vault, you gather, was enough to block your senses from this place.
Yeah.
And you sense that this, almost like how you felt this morning in your elemental form, that whirling ability of change, the ability to force through things, the elemental nature that water encapsulates. You feel that coming through the connection. It's not a big piece. It's not as strong as a whole blade. There is some piece there.
Let me rephrase that. I will say that it's not the Nox piece because I still feel that one really far away, but I definitely feel like a Guiji piece. Like water, maybe.
Oh. Okay.
And it's close. And I didn't feel it before.
What was the word you used?
Guiji?
Guiji?
I don't believe I'm familiar with the Guage term.
How it feels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, where do you okay, do you need more time to rest? How is it moving away? Is it getting closer? What? It is moving away, and it's moving away fast.
It's moving away fast. Probably go.
Oh god, if it's Darius, he's...
He can change his shape, but this would help because if he does have it, I think I could still sense it a little bit. So even if he looks like an old man again.
How close was it?
What? How close was what? When?
The shard of the water blade.
Based off your kind of like rough calculations, it's maybe 9 hours out at the 7 to 8 hours out at this point.
Made me feel a little seasick. We should go. Probably. Before it gets too far. Or before Sammy gets it.
All right. Dude in the pajamas.
Yes.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't make my introduction. My name is, as I bring up my notes, it is Curtis Euleus, High Curator of the Paramours.
And what is it you do?
I am the leader of the Church of Arathis.
I think you, Groon, and Vord should get together, figure out ways to defend the Titan in terms of its heart and how it's connected to the ground. We're
Okay.
gonna go after this water sword thing. And potentially Darius. I recommend communicating with whoever else you need to communicate with in order to bolster defenses around the city. And I'm going to look at Citron at that one. And to Ophira and the Raven Queen's maiden. There are going to be many people who are hurt if Semayor gets here. We should find ways to minimize that as much as possible.
I will do my best to ensure there are as few casualties as possible.
I do want to check out that vault, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of glance at Clover. But I suppose we should follow this water sword, huh? What do you guys think? Yeah.
Just one question before you leave. Can anybody here please cast Greater Restoration?
Oh, did you see three people kind of stand up? Of course.
Please take away this exhaustion.
Bam, exhaustion gone.
In short order,
That's
your
all.
levels of exhaustion are alleviated.
I feel like I can breathe again. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. What's the plan here, guys?
Chasing after Darius.
I'm gonna get on a skyship, pointed in the Darius direction, and
Kill him.
go.
Is
I'm
there...
gonna pack all the mystery meat left on the table in my pouch.
Okay. As you're doing that, as one of the random other members of the Platinum Guard kind of look at you. Oh, big fan of the owlbear meat, huh? That's good, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna almost kind of tastes like chicken, but beef flavored chicken. It's so weird.
Okay. And I pull out my notebook and I update that post.
Yep, got it. Senshi. All right. So, with that, you guys gathering any supply, like, you only have pretty much what you guys came here with at this point. A lot of the provisions on the ship are running low.
We'll restock.
That's going to take you time, just as a heads up. So however much you want to restock is going to be time away from catching up to the airship. So it's up to you guys.
What do we need to restock?
Well, you have all you
Food, ammunition.
right.
Potions.
I think we only need a couple days worth.
Mhm.
All right. So are you?
Whatever we need.
What are you restocking?
Food,
Again.
ammunition.
Okay.
Potions.
Potions are a whole different thing, but
Regular things. Okay, I was thinking about spending time to go. Never mind.
if you want to spend like an hour or two to get your food restocked for the trip ahead, that's fine. You're just giving an extra 2 hours of gain lead time on the enemies.
I mean, better to give him an hour and be fully prepared than give him all the time in the world and not chase after him, right?
Okay. Well, with that, you load up all your provisions onto the airship, gathering yourselves as well. And Goldie and Talon taking their places at the forefront of the ship themselves, kind of ducking down below the railing as to not catch as much wind as possible. The airship kind of hums to life, firing off into the distance. You all kind of rocking back as the ship launches forward. As you move forward ahead now. Anything you guys want to do? Like,
I guess verify with Whisper that we're going in the right direction.
I'll say it's easy enough for Whisper to keep you guys on target.
And then just keep my eye out. Just looking in the direction we're headed and just see if I could see anything coming up.
All right. I'm going to need to take a break real quick. So we'll be back in 2 seconds. I just want to take care of something real quick.
Okay.
All right. All right, we are back. So, as the skyship rocketing through the air, a lot of your crew kind of taking up their positions, knowing that the urgency of the mission has been laid out to them. You all have a few moments as the ship is pulling towards Whisper. I will say you do feel the connection growing closer. your ship is much faster than his. But besides that, you have some time on your hands as he has gotten a pretty good lead on the rest of you. Anything you guys want to do?
All right, so Tristan. Oh, sorry. Did I?
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So right now we're just traveling on the ship, right? Just going to where we're going, getting there quick. Okay. So during that time, Tristan is going to search out Clover.
Clover is going to be near the cannons, but she's going to be pacing back and forth very anxiously, lifting her eyes back and forth, wiggling her thumbs, very, very nervous.
When Tristan seeks and finds where he's going to walk, he's going to start pacing over and then look around to see does he see anybody around in the area that Clover is in, or that they're in general?
There's people all over the ship at this point. Everyone's kind of moving with an urgency.
All right. So he's going to keep looking, see, and then as he sees her walking and twiddling her thumbs and looking like super nervous, he's going to walk up and then wait for one moment, and then he's going to kind of just step forward in front of her by the edge of the ship. Are we by the edge of the ship?
By the cannon.
Yeah. So he's gonna walk up to the cannon and kind of look at it and turn, and then kind of like put his hands out while she's pacing, and just sit and look and just keep his hands out and just wait.
I've never really felt this way about someone before, but I'm really scared to see him again. After our last interaction, it was not a pleasant experience for me. I really don't want to see him again.
I wish I could say that I could hide that from you, but I can't. We're going to see him again.
No.
He's gonna step a little bit closer. Oh, we do see him. We are going to destroy him. He is not gonna get to you.
You know. Or I hope so. He's evaded us twice already.
I promise that I will die trying to make sure that there will not be a third time. And he's gonna look at I hope that I get the final blow to destroy him.
I hope so too.
If there's anything that I can say to make you understand how much if there's any way that I can figure out a way to show that I will do what it takes necessary to make sure that everyone in our family survives, I will. And then again,
Oh, I believe you. Thank you.
and then he pulls his hands back.
Oh, were your hands out that whole time?
Yeah.
Like as an embrace?
Oh no, he was gonna, when you're fiddling the hands, he was gonna grab your hands.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I wasn't visualizing that.
Well, I'm sorry. I thought you said my fault. My fault.
Oh, it's okay.
But he's in. We haven't had much time to talk. I am very aware of the complications. So I decided that I'm just going to be as upright as I possibly can be. Before we started this endeavor, I wasn't sure. I got confused, and I also did not know how to handle seeing her again. And then he gets very, like, kind of serious and stoic. There's something I noticed and figured out during this battle, and during the figuring out, and during things, in everything that's happened since the gala. There was once a time where I wondered what would happen when I saw her, and I didn't know what was going to happen. When I finally did and talked to her, all I could think about was you. I've sat nights after and days trying to hate myself because of it, trying to make myself reversed. Why? And then it hit me. It hit me. I am no longer that Tristan anymore. That Tristan that was longing for what could never ever happen now. The Tristan that was prepared to give up everything to make sure that she knew I was still thinking of her. I realized in that moment that I am no longer that Tristan. I am not part of a high prestigious family anymore that was willing to sacrifice all for the sake of the name, for the sake of the company, for the sake of what I was taught that was real feelings. The fists have taught me to think. The River Nord taught me how to fight, taught me how to be brutal, taught me how to destroy anything that stood in the way of what we want. The fists have taught me that there is meaning in what we do. There's meaning in everything that we pursue, in what we follow, and what we attack. We're not doing it for just the gold. We're not doing it just to have a high-powered name, just to assert a space in the community to just live a lavish life. This team has taught me that you don't know when you're going to die. You don't know when something is going to happen. You just know that we have each other's backs. I love you. I don't know what that means in all the midst of the chaos and what's happening. But what I do know is, I don't care how many swords, how many demons, how many creatures disperse from any point of any realm, any area to come out. I will protect all of you. And if I have to die when that happens, I'll be fully committed to making sure that that sacrifice is worth it and not worth lumber and magic and gold.
A lot.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. It's been a lot, you know. It's a lot has been. There's a lot happening right now. I'm very sorry. We're going into it. I am sorry. I did not mean to. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw that on. I'm sorry. I'm very
It's okay. You don't have to apologize. But 2 days ago, I saw you run into your ex-fiance and fall onto your knees crying. And last night I didn't sleep. And now I'm not in the right headspace to say that back to you.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I felt that it was I felt that it was just the timing, just everyone
Clover's gonna grab Tristan's hand and look at him and say, I really like getting to know you, and I hope that after we beat Darius we can continue to do that. And she's gonna hug him.
He's gonna hug back. He's not gonna hold back. He's gonna hug right back. And then as soon as they let go, he's gonna just give her a quick look in the eye, and unless you're gonna say something.
I believe you that you're gonna protect all of us and me, and I know that you're gonna get the final blow.
And then he's gonna slowly slide his hand out from her hand, like not forcefully, but he's gonna push it out and turn, and then just go somewhere. Random walk, like you'll see him walking like in a direction, like, and all of a sudden he'll stop, like, oh shit, and then turn different direction, and then realize he wasn't trying to go that way.
Clover's gonna run and find Finnick.
I'm actually not too sure where Finnick would be at this moment in time. She'd probably be towards the front of the ship, just sort of taking in the fresh air.
So do I find her?
Probably. I'm out in the open. I'm not hiding away.
Darius tortured me, and he threw bugs on me, and I've been having nightmares, and I haven't been sleeping, and I'm really tired, and Kirsten just told me that he loved me, and I wasn't ready for it because I'm really scared about fighting Darius, and I'm also kind of hungry.
Okay. Let's just take a quick breath. Okay. I'll just sort of like kneel down to her level, like a hand on each shoulder. Why don't we go grab some food and we can talk about this. I know there's a lot going on right now, but it's hard to think on an empty stomach. And I'll sort of lead Clover over to the kitchen.
You're gonna have to find bits of fruit and some dried meats that are hung out for you guys. Nothing prepared exactly in this moment, but there is like the staples that are kind of stationed around the kitchen.
I'm gonna pull out my vegetarian rations.
Okay. So like after I've given Clover a moment to like sit down and like, eat a little bit. I'm sorry, I don't really know where to start with all this.
We're in jail. Darius took me into this really dark room. He shut the door behind us, and it was just me and him in there, and it was really scary, but I was okay. And then he like beat me. It was fine, but then he like casted bugs all over me, like leeches, and then they burned really bad. And
Hey, you can't just say it's fine.
And then I was trying to sleep in my room, but I couldn't because every time I closed the door, I'd picture Darius, and then I'd feel like there were bugs all over me. And then I found out that he escaped, and we're about to go see him. And I was on the ship, and I was trying to mentally prepare for that, and then Tristan came up to me, and he was very passionately talking about how happy he was to find the Fist of Fate, and that it's over his ex-fiancée, which is... And then he said that he loved me, and I've never heard that before, except from, like, my mom. And now I am talking to you about it.
Really sorry about what happened to you in that prison. There's a part of me that wishes I didn't turn myself in because I feel like somehow I could have prevented any of that. But I understand what it's like to losing sleep and making sure your room is well lit. It will get better. It might take some time, but if you want, I could stay in your room with you. I could guard your door. And the Tristan situation, I don't even know where to begin. I know God, it feels like we've been together longer than this, but with the pure chaos that we've been experiencing for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, I almost don't blame him for saying that, even though it's honestly kind of poor timing. But he's a very passionate individual.
And I like that, but I feel like I've been kind of. Do you know what a yo-yo is? It's like back in where I'm from, we used to have these little wooden toys on this like piece of string.
I heard of them. I've never played with one.
Well, I kind of feel like that. He was kind of flirting with me, and then he ignored me for like 4 days. And then he wrote me a note that he had feelings for me, and then he told me that he's madly in love with his ex-fiancée. And then we started looking for his ex-fiancée, and then he started being very overprotective of me. And then when he saw his ex-fiancée, he literally like fell to the floor, like crying. And now suddenly, like, he's telling me that he loves me. It's like,
it's a lot.
Choose the path, you know what I mean?
Right. Clover, what do you want? Stop focusing on what he wants. What do you want?
Nah. I want like 3 entire days where we all just get to hang out and like not do anything of any importance at all.
That
Maybe roll
sounds
down a hill
nice.
or something. That sounds like fun. Not a hill into monsters popping out of the ground trying to kill you. That's all I can do right now.
Well, I want to make you a promise that the second we can even catch a break, I promise you I will find the most glorious green rolling hills that you could think of. And we can just have some time to ourselves.
As you say that, Finnick, you will kind of gather yourselves up for the ride ahead. Unless there's anything in particular someone wanted to do briefly. And that is where we're going to call for the night. All right. Ended on a much more emotional note than I think anyone was expecting. Let's see. Don't forget, this Wednesday we have Queer and Present Danger, followed by Investigation Check with Kate the Great on Thursday. And then on Monday we have Forging Fates before we all ship off to Gen Con. Till most of us ship off to Gen Con. Let's see. We are gonna, as always, jump over to the raid. Is there any announcements I'm forgetting?
Yes. For me. Can I go?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, I'll be there Thursday night to Sunday, but I also will be in my first panel on Friday night at 7 p.m. In the Marriott Marquis. It is Swords to Success, applying LARP skills to real life. So come out and hear me talk about LARP and Fire RPG. Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else got any other announcements? Okay. Well, if you guys got nothing, I've got nothing. Stick around for the raid, and remember, we love geeks. Night.